Hello, Janet. Hi there. Good afternoon. Hi, Janet. Good afternoon to you. Hello, Jennifer. Good afternoon, Flower. Hello there. Hi, Serena. Are you all nicely at home now, Serena, away from the chaos? Hello, Jennifer. Hello there. Hi, Janet. How are you, Flower? I've just broke one of my nails, so it's irritating me now. Hello, Rachel. Good afternoon. Hello, Kirsten. Good afternoon. Hi, Janet. How is everybody on this Saturday afternoon? It is Saturday afternoon, isn't it? Yes, it is. I'm just getting confused on what time, what day, or whatever it is. Hello, Heather. Hi, Angela. Good afternoon there. Hello, Miriam. How are you? Hi, Jane. Hello, Erica. Good afternoon. How is everybody? Are we all keeping busy? Hello, Lynn. Yay, found you straight away. That's a miracle, Lynn, isn't it? Especially when I do a live. Hello, Diane. Sending hugs, Diane. Wishing you all the best, Flower. Hello, Gayla. Good afternoon, Chuck. Hi, James. Good afternoon. How are you? Hi, Margaret. Good afternoon, everybody. Hello, Mimi. Hi, Lynn. You're very welcome, Lynn. It's lovely to be live. It's lovely to have some company. And it's just lovely to break the Saturday up. No, Saturday morning here. Oh, of course it is, Hope. Good morning to you, Hope. Good morning. Hello, Gina. Hi, Alison. Good afternoon to the UK members. Good morning to those overseas. Or good midday, whatever time of day it is, all over the world. June is in. Hiya, pal. Hi, June. Hi, Flower. Hi, Jane. I did have a peaceful birthday, Susan, a peaceful birthday. It was very quiet with me and the dogs. Oh, I'm glad you're okay, Serena. At least you're home. Hello, Deirdre. I'm glad you're well, Miriam. I did. It was very peaceful, Miriam. Did you have a good birthday? I am, Sue. I'm doing a live. I don't sort of know what I'm doing, but hey-ho. Hello, Mary. Hello, Diane. Hello there. My spiral-haired friend. Hello, Carol. Hi, Irma. And good afternoon, Marjorie. Hello, Flower. Hi, June. I'm in. Hello, June and B. Hello there. Give B a cuddle for me. I'm bin diving. I lost 3 little stamps from the wire bird set. How on earth have you lost 3, Jane? And James says, Happy New Year, Heather, and of course everyone else. Hello, Tony. Hi, Sarah John. I always say your name in full. Hello, Shirley. Hi, Jane. I've definitely lost the plot with days of the week. So have I, Jane. I haven't got a clue. It's so strange going back to homeschooling. I'm incapable, Jane, of homeschooling. My 6-year-olds were way past my level. Oh, hi, Chris. Hello, Flower. Hi, Margaret. It's lovely to have your company. Hello, Margaret. Hi, Debbie. It was quiet. It's a quiet birthday, isn't it, Miriam? But guess what, Miriam? Hopefully next year, Miriam, we can paint the town red. Was busy with the heartfelt workshop, but couldn't let this live go by. Bless you, Betty. I'm bombarding you, Betty, because I'm special. You are special, Jane. I did have a lovely birthday, Debbie. It was very quiet. Hello, Cindy. Hello, Pauline. Hello, Lucy. And Lucy says, hello, Miriam. Hello, Carol. Good afternoon, Maureen. I'm here again. Yippee. Hey, Linda. Hi, Sarah. Hello there. I'm messing with my paintbrush that's wet. Hello, Paula. Hello, everybody. So good afternoon, everybody. B, here's your voice, and she's on my desk. She has far more crafting space than me. Yeah, but she's got a little bit of a fluffy bottom compared to us, June. It's lovely to have you, Margaret. Hello, Vinchney. Vinchney, is it? Vinchney. I can't. I do apologise for my abysmal pronunciation. Vinchney. Sorry. Hello, Sue. Hello, Clintine. Hello, my lovely friend. Shall I open with a joke? Here goes. Masks are the new bra. They're uncomfortable. You only wear them when you go out in public, and when you don't wear one, everyone notices. I totally agree, Clintine. Hello, Teresa. Hi, Colleen. Good afternoon, Robin and Satchu. Hello, Danielle. I've been doing nouns, verbs, etc. My daughter has no idea. Oh, forget it, Diane. Forget it. Paint the town red. I would be asleep by 9. Yeah, but we've got to put it to rights next year. I'm Nikki. Sorry, that's lovely. Thank you, Nikki. That makes it much easier for me. Sorry for my ignorance. Hello, Jill. Good afternoon. Oh, fluffy bottoms, James. Yes, me and June are talking about her fluffy bottomed cat. It's got a very fluffy bottom, James. Not me and June haven't got a fluffy bottom, definitely not. Hello, Natalie. Welcome, Natalie, a new viewer. It's lovely to have you here, Natalie. Welcome. I hope you enjoy the live, Natalie. And if you've got any questions, please feel free. Hello, Liz. Hello, Marjorie. I just come from a very hot sauna. Whoa, Satchu, no. Outside is so cold, -20, and you're in a sauna of +85. Now a big cup of tea. I have gin, just saying. Just a minute, Miriam. It's 4:05 and you have gin. You're putting Janet to shame. Janet hasn't even got a gin at 4:05. That's a bad influence, that is, Miriam. Very bad influence. Hello, Jenny. Hello there. And -8 here last night. Good grief. Welcome to the group, Natalie, Jill says. Thank you, Jill. Oh, bless you. Yes, if somebody can put a link to my page, my group, then Natalie might see the group. That would be lovely. Much appreciated. It's the weekend. Gin's allowed. Me and gin and tonic. Even Janet's got one. For goodness sake, Janet and Miriam have got a gin at 4:05 p.m. Good grief. Went out in my PJs this morning to Tesco's. I couldn't be bothered to get dressed. And Pauline's ordered a self-pink gin. You're a bad influence. Hello, Helen. You see, now June wants a gin. For goodness sake, you nutcases. See, it's not just me. That was a wired thought, having a fluffy bum. Right, well, I've got a cup of lukewarm tea. Oh, I can't drink lukewarm tea, Diane. It has to be hot. Lukewarm tea makes me heave. Oh, for goodness sake, Sue's got a gin as well. It's 5 o'clock somewhere. It's 4:07. What are you lot like? Oh dear. Right, well, I've got a bit of a giveaway for you. We won't be sewing, Nikki. No, we're not sewing. I'm not that good. No sewing is involved, but we're using my stamp sets because I love this kind of imagery. So we're using my stamp sets. Hello, Anne. Hello, Arbu. Hello there. It's 6 o'clock somewhere. Do you reckon, Cindy, that's not a good enough excuse? Just going to grab myself a gin. There's something wrong with you lot. Ian says that alcohol-free gin shouldn't be allowed, Ian says. And guess what? Ian's just shouted up and says, by the way, Tracy, I've got a gin. I can't believe it. Unbelievable. Right. Well, I've got a little bit of a giveaway for you. Now, I've got a giveaway because I want to say thank you for all of your support during 2020. It was a very difficult year and it continues to be difficult, but I just wanted to say thank you. James, don't encourage them. It's 6 p.m. in Finland. Don't encourage them to drink more gin. It's terrible. So I've got a giveaway for you and it's all brand new. It's not opened. They're brand new. And if you'd like to share the video, that would be much appreciated. The giveaway is some oil paint pens. So these oil paint pens can be used on any surface and can be used on pebbles. So it's to encourage you to use some artwork on pebbles as well. So I thought these would encourage you to use some of my stamps on pebbles. So these are brand new. I've only just bought them. I've got a set for myself and I've bought a set for you. So they're called Chromatech oil paint pens and they're in all different colours. And the idea is to encourage you to do some artwork on pebbles. I want you to use my stamp sets on pebbles. So it's to try and inspire you to do something different. So I've bought some oil paint pens and it's to say a big thank you for all your amazing support of my online workshops and Facebook Lives and stamp sets. And I've also bought you a sketchbook as well. So a new sketchbook because I bought the pens for myself. So I've bought a sketchbook as well. So this is the giveaway. It's all brand new and it's to hopefully encourage you to do something different. Maybe do some artwork on some pebbles, to maybe use my stamp sets on some pebbles, just to get you to do something a little bit different. I'm trying to encourage you to not be fed up, to try and just do something a little bit different. So you can run out to your ponds and get some pebbles and maybe use my stamp sets on pebbles. So this is the giveaway. So if you want to share the live, that's fine. If you don't want to share it, that's fine. You don't have to share the video to be in with the live. It just, for anybody that's involved in the live, everybody will be in the draw. So everything's brand new. So the oil paint pens and it's a little sketchbook as well. So I will draw the winner in a week. I'll draw the winner in a week. So that's a week. In a week's time, I'll draw the winner. And it's my way of saying thank you because I want to give something back. So I'm just going to put them on the floor because I've got nowhere to put them. So it'd be lovely if you like to share. So don't worry if you don't want to share. It's not a problem. It's not a necessity. So thank you very much. So really that's my way of saying thank you. If you haven't got a pond, just go out and pick some stones up that are smooth. But the oil pens can be used on any surface, so don't worry. I'm just trying to give you ideas to do something different. What you do is when you on your iPad, if you look at the bottom left, Janet, it says share at the bottom left and then you can share it. But you don't have to, so don't worry. So I'm trying to give you some different ideas of doing different things to keep us going in lockdown. So I'm trying to think of some different ideas to keep us going in lockdown. Happy New Year, Loretta. Happy New Year. So what I'm going to be using today are these stamp sets. Two of my stamp sets, Sewing Forever and Tailoring. So I'm going to be used exactly so, mixed media as well, mixed media. But I'm just trying to give you different ideas each time with each Facebook Live. Oh, bless you, Nikki. Thank you very much. So what we're actually going to be doing a journal page. We're actually going to be doing a journal page. Thank you, Chris. So I'm going to be doing these in a journal page. So I'm going to do these in a journal page today. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start off on a piece of white card. Now you need to, if you're doing a journal page, I've done it straight in my journal page, but I've already prepped the first bit in my journal page. You're very welcome, Christine. Thank you, Rachel. So I'm starting off with a piece of white card, but I'm actually going to be doing it in my journal. And the reason I'm doing it on a piece of white card is if I show you, I've already started the first part of the prep in my journal page, but I'm going to show you how to do it on a piece of white card so you can do it on both. But we're actually going to be doing it in a journal page. I want to encourage you to use your journals with your stamps as well. And the idea is that with my pre-recorded workshops as well, that at the end of the year, we've got a full journal that we can look back on. I've got a full journal that we can look back on. So if you don't want to do it in your journal, you can do it on a piece of 8x8 inch white smooth card, but we're actually going to be doing it in the journal. So I've done some cutting out, but that's about it. So what you're going to do is use a piece of low tack tape, a piece of low tack tape. A blank book with pages, yes. So I'm just masking off my 8x8 inch piece of card, but I've done this in my journal, and this is where we'll be going afterwards into the journal. I did the prep beforehand because I needed it to dry. I needed it to dry. Oh, bless you, Nicola. Ooh, a couple of Achanda deliveries. So I'm just making sure I can remove the page afterwards. So I'm just masking off the page. I'm just masking off, but I'm a bit of a pleb and I can't mask off properly because I can't see the edge of the page. So we're going to be going to the journal, but I've just done it on a piece of white card. So if you want, you can do it on the white card and then stick it in your journal, whichever way you want to do, whichever way works for you. My daughter takes her children to a fairy trail we have here, and they often have painted stones. I think it's lovely. So what we're going to do is we've got a piece of the 8x8 inch white card. Now, if you don't want to do 8x8 inch white card and stick it in your journal, work straight in your journal like I've done. Work straight in your journal. I ordered a journal and a round gel press Wednesday evening for Stampers Grove, and they delivered yesterday. That's brilliant. Hi everyone, I was trying to join when you started, however I spilled a full cup of hot coffee on my side table. What a mess. Positive side, I don't have to dust it. Whoops, Debbie, whoops. Yay, my first journal arrived. Well, Lynn, we've got to fill that journal this year, Lynn. The idea is that we all fill a journal in 2021 and we look back at it in December. The idea is that for 2021, we fill the journal and we look back at it in December together. So the idea is we fill the journal in 2021. Right, so you've got an 8-inch piece of card, but obviously if you're working in a journal, go straight in your journal because that's where I will be going afterwards. Hello, Gabby. Hello there. So what I'm going to start off with is I'm going to start off with my scissors. And this is a pair of vintage scissors. So we're going to start off with that. So I'm going to start with the scissors. Exactly, it'll be a lovely memory to look back on. We've got to have something positive to look back on. I have 2 journals on the go with 2 extended online classes. Brilliant, brilliant, Chris. That's brilliant. So I'm actually doing pre-recorded journal classes that I'm going to do all the way through the year. So I'm doing pre-recorded classes every month, all the way through from January to December. So I've already done 3 pre-recorded classes and I'll be doing them all the way through to December so that we can look back on them all the way through. Yes, I'm talking about an art journal, Gabby. I've actually done the page in my art journal, but I'm just showing you what I've done on a piece of white card because I had to do the prep first. And I've already done pre-recorded classes. I've already done pre-recorded classes, which are online. I did this page pre-recorded. Oh no, I just start anywhere, Pauline. I start anywhere. So I did this one pre-recorded. I've done this page pre-recorded. And yesterday I did this page pre-recorded. So I'm taking it easy this year, James, not. And I've done this page pre-recorded. So if you want to join in any of those classes, just give me an email. So we're doing a page today, and we're going to fill our journal page. We're going to fill our journal page with our stamps, and we're going to use them. We're not going to let the stamps gather dust. So obviously, journals, if you don't want to write in them, you don't have to. I'm not a great writer, but if you're doing your journal pages and you want to write your feelings down on your journal page, scribble your feelings on your journal page, and then you can always gesso over the top if you want, and pick one of those words. If you want to pick one of those words from your writing as your word of the day, then you can pick that as your word of the day for your journal page. So what we're going to do, oh, thank you, Lynn, thank you so much. Hello, Susan, hello there. Did Facebook kick you out, June? The journal book, I know a lot of the stockists have got them online. James has got journals. I think Susan's got journals. So James at Stampers Grove, Susan has at Country View. So yes, a lot of them have got the journals. I like to use the Diane Reevely one because I love the papers, but that's entirely up to you. I'm loving the idea for me this year is to do a pre-recorded journal page every month, maybe one or maybe two, and also Facebook Lives, and we'll fill a whole journal all the way through 2021, and then we'll have lots of books to look, we'll have lots of pages to look back on. But lots of shops have the journals, Stampers Grove, Country View, That's Crafty, lots of people. So what I'm doing is I'm just adding a Versamark image to my page. I'm just adding the stamps with Versamark. So I'm just stamping my scissors with Versamark ink. Just sold out over Christmas sale, but they're coming back. Brilliant. But James has got some at Stampers Grove, definitely. It's 8 by 8 inches, my journal is. It's 8 by 8 inches, and we'll be going to the journal shortly. We'll be going to the journal shortly because we will be creating a journal page. But the reason I'm doing it on white card is I had to prep the page so that it dried. So if you want and you're frightened of the journal, you can do it as an 8 by 8 inch piece separate, and then you can stick it to your journal. So the idea is that in December, we'll be doing a live in some form, and we'll be looking back at the 12 months in our journal in December. We'll be looking back at the whole journal in December, looking back at it, and just having a Facebook Live, looking back at it and being inspired by what we've all done. And it's to keep us all going through 12 months of 2021. So what we're doing is I'm using my Versamark ink. We're using my Versamark ink, and I'm just stamping with Versamark ink the scissors in the background. Oh, brilliant, Nikki. That sounds wonderful. I love Alice in Wonderland. So that sounds wonderful. So I'm just inking my stamp with Versamark ink, and I'm just stamping the scissors in the background. Now, I've not got any set idea. I've not got any set pre-planned idea. Oh, thank you, Nikki. I've not got any pre-planned idea, because what I want you to show is that you can all also go with the flow and enjoy the process. What I'm using now is clear embossing powder. I'm using clear embossing powder over my scissors. So I'm just using a clear embossing powder, and I need some scrap paper. Hello, Tracy. So I'm just using a clear embossing powder. And I'm going to take my time to do this page, because for me, it's Saturday. I don't need to rush, so I'm not going to rush. I'm just taking my time. Now, I know you can't see much because it's great using clear embossing powder, because you can't actually see much. So that's really good. But you'll get it when we've done it, you'll get it. I like working with clear embossing powder so that when you look at the screen, it doesn't look like you're looking at anything. It's really interesting. Let's bring that page in. Hello, Mike. Hello there. So I'm just reaching for my heat tool. Jill says they went back to work on Monday and had lots of orders then that had been placed over Christmas break. Mine arrived yesterday, so no, they are working their way through them. I'm sure everybody's working their way through their orders. The positive thing is that people have got orders. Oh, are you on the design team this year, Nikki? Wow. Congratulations. So I'm just having to hold this up because I can't see when the embossing turns because it's clear. So because of the light in my craft room, I'm having to just bend it slightly just so I can see when the embossing takes. So I'm just having to bend the camera slightly just so I can see when the embossing takes. Whoops. I'm just turning my page slightly just so I can see when the embossing takes. I'm sure that all the stockists will get through their orders, all the shops will get through their orders as fast as they can now they're back from Christmas. So I've got my embossed image. I may have embossed one a little bit too much, but hey ho, it doesn't really matter. So I've just embossed those with clear embossing. Not that you can see much on the card, but I've actually clear embossed those. I think you can just see them in the camera. So what I'm going to do now, do you know anywhere I could get the mushroom Tim Holt ones for Tracy's next workshop? James is ordering the mushrooms, and I think somebody else is ordering the mushrooms as well. So what I'm going to do is I'm using my favourite frayed burlap distress oxide spray. You can use re-inker or you can use your oxide spray. So I'm just giving this a little shake. Just remember not to shake them up and down. Shake them from side to side. And what I'm going to do is just decant a little bit into my container. I'm just going to decant a little bit into my container. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to spritz with a little bit of water. Just spritz my decanted ink with a little bit of water. I don't, as when I looked, sold out, but we'll keep an eye. No problem, Jill. So what I'm going to do is I've decanted some into a paint palette. And what I'm going to do is just pick that up with my paintbrush, and then I'm just going to paint over my design with the Distress Oxide spray. And you hardly use any. So just go over like that with your Distress Oxide spray. Let me just get some kitchen roll. We have the mushrooms on order, Laura says. Laura says she's got them on order at That's Crafty. So all that I've done is I've literally just added my Distress Oxide spray. I've painted. No problem, Miriam. I've actually painted the scissors with the oxide spray. And what you need to do then is spritz with water. Spritz your spray with a few blobs of water. Spritz the spray with a few blobs of water. And what you're going to do is you're just going to allow that. This oxide spray is frayed burlap. I'm using frayed burlap Distress Oxide spray. There's a few colours that change colour, but you need to test them. There is a few that change colour, but not all. But the frayed burlap works beautifully, and so does the re-inker. But the spray I'm hooked on. I'm absolutely hooked on the spray. It changes colour beautifully. And what you need to do is you also need to pick your paintbrush up. You can flick the water with your paintbrush, or you can use your sprays and just flick a few blobs of water with your spritzer. Just add a few really good big blobs of water. Yes, Faded Jeans does as well. So just flick it with a few blobs of water like this. And I want you to leave that to dry. I want you to leave that to dry naturally. Hello, Frederick. Lovely to see you. I want you to flick it like this, and then I want you to let it dry naturally. And when you let it dry naturally, this is what happens. When you let it dry naturally, this is what happens. Oh, no problem, Nanika. We've not done much. We've not done much, Nanika. Nothing much at all. So if you let it dry naturally, this is what happens. No problem, Jenny. So this is what happens. The colour changes. And what you need to do is you need to get a piece of kitchen roll. You need to get a piece of kitchen roll, spritz it with a little bit of water and wipe over your scissors. Wipe over your scissors so that you've then got the embossing pops through. I've got a few on the go as well, Jennifer. So you then need to wipe it with a little bit, only a tiny bit of water, and then your embossing shows through. Old paper works as well. Yes, it does. But I do love the frayed burlap because it's really intense. It's really intense. So don't forget, once you've done that and you've allowed it to dry, just wipe over your scissors with a little bit of water. Just a tiny bit, not much. They really pop. So just use a little bit of water. Right, what we want to do then is take your frayed burlap that we've decanted. I'm picking up the wrong thing. Take a little bit of the frayed burlap that you've decanted. And what we're going to do is try and get some room on my desk that doesn't exist. It literally doesn't exist. And what we're going to do is we're going to add some frayed burlap on the opposite page. So we're going to lift this and we're going to add some frayed burlap just along the centre of the page. I'm trying to keep this in camera at the same time. And we're going to just allow this, sorry, I'm having to lift it just so that it drips. Just so that it drips. Just bear with me a second. I'm just going to put some kitchen roll just under the next page, just so that I can drip this, just so that I can drip it. I'm just going to allow it to drip, just so that it gives me some more of the colour on this page. So bear with me a second. I've literally got about 2 inches of space. I've literally got about 2 inches of space. So I'm just going to... Who you calling a drip? No problem. No problem, Kim. So I'm just going to add a little bit of the Distress Oxide spray just on my next page. Just so that it just flows on my next page. I'm just going to make it just so that I've got some drips on my next page. It doesn't have to be too specific. I just want some of that colour on the next page. Now, you're not going for anything that's too regimented or too specific. No problem, Kim. If it's cutting out, it can be a bit of a pain. So I just want you to add some of the colour just so it's flowing on this page. You don't want this page to look like it doesn't belong. You want it to look like it belongs. So you're just going to add a little bit of colour to your next page. Just add a little bit of colour on the opposite page and just dab that. And what you can do is you can just spritz that. And once you spritz, this is in a journal, Bonnie, yes it is. This paper from Diane Reevely's journal takes the fluid really well. Now, the minute you spritz this with water, it starts to oxidise and starts to bring out the blue. The more you spritz it, the more blue you get. The less you spritz it, the more you keep some of the brown. It keeps some of the brown for you. So what I want you to do then is place that on one side. Just place your journal page on one side. Let me show you this one. It's reacting. It's got quite a lot of blue in it because the more water you add, the more blue that reacts, the more water you add. What we're going to do now is we're going to add some stamped images. We're going to add some stamped images. So what we're going to do is bring in my stamp sets. We're going to bring in the stamp sets that I can't pick up. And we're going to use the bodice. I have done some cutting out just so that you're not watching me cut out a load of imagery. So I'm now going to use the bodice. I'm so lacking on space. I love how it oxidises. I love it, Fiona. I just think the frayed burlap is such a fab colour. I know old paper does it as well. Somebody's just posted an angry face. Wonder what that means. So I'm just going to ink and stamp the bodice. And what we want to do is you want to have the bodice 3 times. You want to have the bodice 3 times. So you need to stamp the bodice 3 times. I may use a 4th one, but you need to stamp that 3 times. And then what I'm going to do is I'm just going to add a bit of colour to the bodice. So I've decanted some of the frayed burlap. I've decanted some of the frayed burlap again, and I'm just adding a bit of water on the side. It means they've probably had a gin. Is that what it is, Joe? They've had a gin. Angry faces means they've pressed the wrong button. Bless. They might be slightly angry, you never know. So I'm just painting with the frayed burlap. I'm just going to paint the bodice with the frayed burlap. And as you can see, it's got an opaque element. So I pick up some of the water and just blend the colour out. Just blend it out like so. So I'm just adding some of the darkness to the edges, and then I'm just going to blend it out with some water. And the minute you add the water, the blue starts to oxidise. It starts to come out in the colour. So I'm just painting with the oxide. Or they need some gin, Nikki. That's true. They might need some gin. That's very true. Mind you, if I had a gin, I'd just absolutely click anything. So I'd be lethal if I had some gin. So what you're going to do is you're going to paint the bodices. And I'm probably going to use 4 on my page. So I'm just painting with the oxide spray. And what you're going to do is with each of the bodices, you're going to allow them to dry. Can you see how I've used the water and I've painted it with it, but it's turning blue? Hello, Bonnie. So you can see that it's already turning grey blue here. On the edges, it's turning grey blue because I've added water with my paintbrush. Okay, I've added water with my paintbrush. And what I want to do is I also want to stamp the scissors on their own. So we'll stamp the scissors. Hello, Maria. Hello there. So we're just going to stamp the scissors as well. So just give the scissors a stamp. And I'm just making sure there's plenty of ink on there because there's some of that Versamark. Hello, Nicola. So I'm also stamping the scissors because I want these bits so that I can create my page in the journal page. And it's so hot in this room. So I've got my scissors and I'm just going to remove the scissors and I'm going to use the bits of text. I'm just going to give my hands a wipe. Hi there, Yvonne. Hi there. So I'm just going to use my other stamps as well. I've got some wording. I've got some wording on here that's thimbles, scissors and mannequin. I'm going to use them as well. I'm going to use them because I want them on my page as well. And we're going to build this page. But I need some cut out elements to my page. So we're just stamping some cut out elements. Hello, Sue. Long time no see, Sue. How are you? So we're just cutting out and we're going to put the page together when we've got some of these cut out elements. But I've actually cut out some bits. I've cut out some bits already. Just so that you're not waiting. So we're going to have these stamped words. We're going to have these stamped words as well. So those words are perfect. And just while we're stamping, you can see how the bodice is oxidizing. The bodice is oxidizing. Thank you, Gabby. So I've got the mannequin, the thimbles and the scissors. And I can do that and it allows everything else to oxidize. Right, so I'm going to bring in my journal page. So let's bring in my journal page that's oxidizing beautifully. Absolutely beautifully. I mean, look at this bit here. That bit there is gorgeous. I just love that. I think that's absolutely gorgeous. Can you see how it's oxidizing? I think that is fabulous. Right, let's just dab a bit of this dry. Let's just dab it so it's dry. And it doesn't matter if you've got bits here and there. So here you go. I've stamped out some of my bits. I've stamped out some of the bits. So we're going to place these on the top here. And what I've got is, where's my lady gone? There we go. What we're going to do is we've got some torn pieces of calico. I've got some lovely torn pieces of calico and we're going to add this to our page just to give me some texture and allow me to build. I'm still here just watching. No problem, Natalie. You don't have to chat away. It doesn't matter. You can watch quietly. It's not a problem at all. So what I'm doing is I'm adding some calico, some torn calico. So I'm just adding this to my page. And if you notice, I'm adding the torn calico so that it's sort of in line with the edge of the square here, just so that I'm not covering every element of my page, just so that I'm not adding my whole page is not being covered up. My whole page is not being covered up. And what I've got is I've just got these little bits of calico and I'm using the calico in my art to give me some texture, give me some threads and to give me another element to my design. So I'm just adding the bits of calico and I want the other page to look like it's part of the page. I need it to look like it's part of this page and it's not disjointed. But I don't want this page to have every inch covered with colour. So I'm just adding these bits of calico and I'm just adding them randomly. I've just torn the calico and I've got loads of threads, loads of bits of threads on the page, and that really adds to the texture. It's got loads of fibres and bits sticking out. And what I want to do, I'm going to add some of the calico to this page here. So I'm adding the bits of texture because I don't want it to look like I've just dumped something on the page. I want it to look like both pages work together with each other. So I'm adding a bit of calico to each page. So I'm just adding a bit of calico to each page, like so. And what I'm going to do is I want to use this stamp set. I want to use this lady that's covered up here. So I want to use this stamp set because I think she'll work quite beautifully with the page. So my son's shouting. I don't know whether the football's going wrong, but somebody's shouting in the background. So I'm just, what did Vanessa say? I need to start collect, oh bless, I love the sprays. So I'm just adding a bit of this. So what I'm going to do is I'm now going to build some kind of design. And what I'm thinking is my lady who has been coloured with pencil crayons, coloured pencils. She's been coloured with coloured pencils. Just going to order my Chinese. Ooh. Ooh. I wanted the scissors. I don't want the page to look disjointed. I want it to look like, even though I'm going with the flow, it's still got to look like I'm putting thought into it. So my lady is going to go somewhere like this. She's going to be added like this. But I want to add a little bit of stamping just in the background a little bit, just to make it sing a little bit more. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use Absy's reverse squares. I'm going to use the reverse squares. It's absolutely boiling in this office. So I'm going to use the reverse squares before I place her down. And I'm just going to add a little bit of edging. So I'm just going to take a few of these squares, because I always think of patchwork with hexagons and squares. So it sort of reminds me of the stamp set. And I'm just going to add a little bit of square detail here. A little bit of square detail just to the page. And I'm going to pick my stamp up just so that you can see what I'm doing. Because the journal page is a double spread, it's very difficult to see everything. Hubby bought me a tin of polychromo pencils. Oh, how lovely. That's fab. Are you crafting along, Abs? Oh, crikey, I can't believe that. So what I'm doing here is I'm adding some of the squares to the edge. Why am I doing that? I'm adding the squares because, one, the squares remind me of like doing patchwork quilts or patchwork, and also the squares help to draw the eye into the focal image. So it helps to draw the eye into the focal image. I'm having a hot flush as well, Jane. I'm having a hot flush. So what I'm going to do is you would use your stamp flat on your work surface and then ink it. I'm doing it with it in my hand just so that you can see every step, because with a double journal page spread, it's very difficult to see everything in one screen. So what I'm doing is I'm just adding a little bit of these squares in the background, and these squares in the black ink make everything pop. They bring everything to life. Now, I don't want it to look too regimented, so what I'm going to do is only add a tiny bit to the top, just a tiny bit to the top, just so it doesn't look too regimented. That's it, that's perfect. I don't want it to look too regimented. Now, I don't want to put all black squares down here, all black squares down here, all down there and all down there. That's too regimented. It hasn't got enough of an artistic flair if you just add it all the way around the square. Now, these pops of black go with the theme of the page, and they also draw the eye in. Now, because I'm doing 2 pages, it's a power surge. Because I'm doing 2 pages, I don't want this page to look like it's disjointed from this page. So what I want to do is add a few squares into my design element on the second page. So what I'm doing here is where I've added the calico, I'm just going to add a few little squares just to my page here, just so that it looks like the same design element has been added across the page. Just so it looks like the design element has been added across the page. So don't add too much at the minute. We can still add more, but you can't take it away. If you add too much now, we can't take that away. So we need to think about what we're doing. So my idea is that we've got this lady that's going to sit here, and she's got that lovely pop of black from those squares, just a touch of them in the background. And what I've got here is one of the bodices. I've got one of the bodices here. And what I want is to tuck that bodice just behind her. So the bodice will go here and she will go there. But it's got to be sit just right. So it'll go like that. So it just pop. So we're creating a little cluster, with what I call a little cluster. We're creating a little cluster just in this corner here. Everything doesn't have to be splodged just all over the page. So I want it nicely arranged here. So we're going to arrange her here. I'd click an angry face, but it might upset me. It won't upset me, Clintine, not at all. So I'm just going to add this little bit of a bodice here. Just going to add this bodice here. Can you believe that Absy's playing along? I wonder if he's gone for vintage or full-on colour. I wonder if he's gone for vintage or full-on colour. So I'm just checking that I've got this in the right place before I press it down. I'm just checking I've got it. Yes, that's it. So I'm just adding my bodice. And I take a bit of time just to add that. Just to add it. So I've got a bit of texture. And what you can do is take a piece of scrap paper. Take a piece of scrap paper and just press it down with your scrap paper so that if any glue goes out of the edges, you're just picking that glue up. And just press that. Make sure you've got no glue on the sides. Quite a few hellos there. New Jersey here. It's lovely that so many people have joined in from different places all over the world. So welcome everybody, welcome. So what we've got now is we've got that bodice there. Just dump my paper here. And we've got my lady here. I'm just giving her a little bit of shape because she's going to sit nicely there. She's going to sit nicely there. And what I'm doing is I'm creating a little cluster, as I call it. I love creating little clusters. So we're just going to add our lady here. So I'm just using a PVA glue just to stick down, just a PVA glue, and I'm just adding it so she overlaps that bodice. She overlaps that bodice. And I'm using my scrap paper just to press her down, just so that that adhesive, if any excess adhesive, it just removes some of it. How are we all doing? How are we all doing? So as you can see, I'm creating a little cluster here. And what I want to do is we've got this word mannequin. We've got this word mannequin. And we're going to add this here, just in our cluster, just to add to our little cluster of imagery. And it doesn't mean when you're creating clusters that you have to cover every area of your page. I love how you're all, I'm loving being back with you all. Lots of lovely there is, isn't there, Sue? It's lovely to have you back with us, Sue. So I'm just adding to this cluster. And it looks like she's holding that word mannequin. And I'm just taking my time to not rush what I'm doing. And I quite like the cluster that I've got here. Now, when I'm working off the cuff, and obviously when you're working off the cuff, you haven't got as much time to think about where your page is going because you're doing everything off the cuff. But because I'm doing that, I still don't like to rush my pages. I still like to give them a few minutes to develop. So I do know that I want these 3 bodices, these 3 mannequins on the next page. So these are going to go like this. I know I love our little Facebook lives and keeping together, but we're going to do lots of Facebook lives. We're going to keep those going, and workshops, just to keep them going. So, oh, thank you, Sue. Add lustre to your cluster, I always say. So what I'm going to do is these bodices are going to go here. Now, it's entirely up to you if you want every inch of your journal page to be covered. That's entirely up to you. I like to keep some kind of open space. Now, open space doesn't mean it has to be white space. Open space means this is open space. It's brown. It's still open space. I still like to keep some of that. I don't like to always cover every inch of space. Now, sometimes there are reasons why we want to cover the whole page, but on this occasion, I don't want to do that. Oh, thank you, Pauline. I'm really enjoying myself. I love the fact that with these journal pages in December, we'll look back at these journal pages and we can talk about a few things we've done. And the idea is we can look at how far we've come. In December, we can look at our journal pages and see which is our favourite page, what inspired us the most. No problem at all, Susan. See you soon. So I'm just adding these little bodices to my page, just to my page. And if you'd like to share the Facebook Live, that'd be much appreciated. That'd be much appreciated. So just stick your bodices down. Now, if I've got too many things on the page, or it's too cluttered, then my eye is a jumbled mess. My vision becomes a jumbled mess if I've got stuff everywhere. But there has to be some kind of design element. Now, we have to remember, not everything appeals to everybody. You also have to do what makes you happy in a journal page. So I just love this vintage imagery. Fab idea, just ordered a journal to join in. Hey, brilliant, Sue. And then in December, when we've done our journal, we can look back in December and we can either do a Facebook Live and join in together looking at our pages, see how far we've come. We can even have a post in the group, and we can post in the group all about our pages, and we can encourage each other. And we may even find new colour schemes that we like, new imagery that we like, and it'll encourage us to use our stamps in our journal. And it'll also encourage us, because this could quite easily be a card. This could be a card. This could be a canvas. It could be a scrapbook layout, because I know that Catherine likes to do layouts. So it could be a scrapbook layout, whatever you want to do. So I'm just keeping it nice and simple, not too much. Now what I want to do is get out my washi tape. Now the washi tape has got some beautiful imagery on there. I love the washi tape. So it's got some beautifully, I can't speak. I think I've had the gin. Oh, somebody's got dumplings. Don't start making me feel hungry. Don't start making me feel hungry. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to tear my washi tape, because I do like that torn edge. It's just me. And you see these little bits here? You see these little bits here? I use them. I use those little bits because they'll add to my page. So I'll use that little bit of washi on my page, because that little touch of washi will add a texture. It doesn't have to say anything, but it adds a texture to your page. So I keep these torn little bits of washi. I don't bin them. I actually add them to my page, and I'll add them on top of the calico. And if you find that they're not sticking, just dab a little bit of matte medium on, but it just adds to your texture. Oh, brilliant, Vanessa. Oh, don't start making me hungry, Janet. Beef stroganoff, beef stroganoff. So what I want to do is I want to add these scissors to one of my pages, but I want to make sure it's going to work. I'm going to make sure it works, and I want to add these scissors to both of my pages, or even the spools. I'm just deciding what I want to do. It's the scissors that I want. So it's great because I can keep the spools if I want them, just keep them on my washi tape. So I'm just adding the scissors to my page. And don't forget, the page is not finished yet. We're just adding clustered layers. I've got mulled wine instant tea. My stapler was playing up. Oh no, you've got a stapler in your thumb. That is not good. That is not good. So what I'm doing is I'm just taking these bits of washi tape and adding little bits to my calico, just so it looks part of the page. I'm just tearing my washi tape just to add. And it doesn't matter if you tear a bit of your image, because you want it to look a little bit more random. You don't want it to look too regimented. You don't want it to look too regimented. So I'm adding layer upon layer of the washi. So this is what we've got so far. This is what we've got so far. So we'll just lift this up just so you can see the washi tape layers. Just so you can see the layers of washi tape and the layers of everything else. What I want to do now is find another stamp, and I've got no idea where it is in the piles of stuff. I want my ephemera digits. I just want my ephemera digits. So I'm going to use these ephemera digits because it's got a few numbers on there. It's got a few numbers on there. So I can, you've also got these, let me move these on one side. So I'm just going to use my ephemera digits just to add a few numbers here and there. They are a lovely way to get creative, and they're also a lovely way to look back and just see what you've done. They're a lovely way to do that. What I want to do is pick up some of these little numbers on the ephemera digits stamp set. Just pick up some of these little numbers, and what I want to do is just add them to my journal. I'm just adding the numbers here because the numbers are on the dress form. So I'm just stamping a few of the numbers so that my back of my page looks like it's a cohesive design with the rest of the page. So I'm just adding some little numbers stamped in the background so that the background doesn't look disjointed from the foreground. So I'm just adding some of those numbers, and I'm just taking my time. I'm not going to rush my page. I'm taking my time and enjoying the process. So I'm just wiping just to make sure. And if you notice, I'm not adding too much stamped detail. It's just little touches that I'm adding. I'm not adding too much stamped detail. So we just add this here. I forgot where I inked then. So we're just adding that there. And then what I'm going to do is I'm just going to move this journal page out of the way just for a second. Just for a second. And what I'm going to do is get a scrap piece of white card. It's like looking for a needle in a haystack in this room. Just get a scrape. Get a scrap of white card, and on this ephemera digit stamp is the word vintage. Your boss is here, Tracy. I know, he's crafting. So I don't know whether he's working in colourful colours or whether he's working in vintage colours. He's actually creating a page. I don't know whether he's doing a journal page, whether he's doing a card, whether he's doing a tag. I don't know. But Abs is actually crafting along. Yes. So, and I think Abs plans to do some Instagram lives as well. So Abs plans to do some Instagram lives. So, yes, I think we're trying to inspire each other to keep crafting. So he's actually, I don't know what he's creating at the moment, but he's creating. So I've got the word vintage, like so. So I'm just applying the frayed burlap just to my little bit of a sentiment. Just applying to a little bit of my sentiment. And if you ever want any colouring inspiration, have a look at Lucy Edmondson's posts, because Lucy colours beautifully. She colours beautifully. Right, what I want to do is I'm still working on my little cluster. Yes, I wonder if it's green. So I'm just working on my little cluster and I want to add the word vintage here. Yes, there you go. Abs says he's doing an Instagram live from next week. So there you go. We're trying to keep you going in another lockdown or tier 4. So Abs will be doing an Instagram live next week. So that'll be fun. And I'm sure it'll be colourful as well. So it's great because we both do something a little bit different. So that's great. I'm still working on my little cluster here. I'm still working on it. And what I've done is I've created a little coat hanger. I've created a little quirky coat hanger that is going to go here. My quirky coat hanger is going to go here. I've created a little quirky coat hanger. So I need a little bit of gel medium. I just need a little bit of gel medium, but there's no room. So I'm having to move everything to actually reach my gel medium. So I'm just going to get a little bit of gel medium. So just applying a little bit of gel medium to my little coat hanger, which won't dry straight away. Don't forget, it won't dry straight away. So just turn that over. So I've just got a little bit of gel medium on there, which won't dry straight away. Obviously, you've got to let that dry. So we've got a little bit of... can you ask Abs where I can buy the stamping blocks from? I'm struggling. Tried all sorts. Have you tried the stockists, Madeline? Have you tried the stockists for the acrylic blocks? I know that we're out of stock at AALLandCreate, but they might be on order again in February. So I don't know about that at the moment. So I'm just building up my little cluster. I'm just building up my little cluster. So just take your time just to add your bits and pieces. I've now got a little, what's this called? Like a safety pin. I've got like a safety pin that I'm going to add to my page. James is sold out. So I'm hoping maybe they'll be back in stock in February. But I don't know about the stockists, I'm afraid. I don't know about the stockists. I can't get the small one. They'll definitely be coming back because that's something that's a, you know, it's an all-round thing that we use all the time. So they'll definitely be coming back in stock. That's for definite. So I'm just getting my bits and pieces. Just getting my bits and pieces. So I've got these words here that we cut out from the stamp set. My little coat hanger. It's a cute little coat hanger, isn't it? Cute little coat hanger. So what I'm going to do now is just add some of these words just to my page. And if you noticed, I'm not over cluttering everything. I'm not over cluttering my whole page. I'm just making sure that it's not over cluttered, because I don't want it over cluttered. And you know, I'm so loving, I've lost my piece of paper now. I'm so loving the journal pages, because I can use my stamps and I can experiment. I'm just loving them. I'm really loving them. So just add that thimbles here. Watch this space. What does Hope say? Where's Hope's comment? Would love some other sizes. There you go, Hope. You've heard it from the horse's mouth. Watch this space. You've just heard it from Abs. Watch this space. There you go. You've even got a Mercy. A Mercy. Right. There's something else we need to do. I'm just going to add a little touch. I'm going to get a thimble. I'm going to get a thimble. Just add one of my thimbles. We're just going to create a little cluster. A little cluster. And what we're going to do, let's move this page in so you can see. Let's move it down. We're just going to move this down so you can see. Just move my page down. And I'm just going to add a little touch in the corner here, just so the whole page looks like it works. Sometimes I like to add a little touch, just a little signature. So what I'm going to do is create a little cluster. So I need my scissors. Thanks, Abs. I'd love an A5 flexi block. Well, apparently Abs is saying watch this space. So I don't know what sizes are coming out, but watch this space. Watch this space. So I'm just adding this mannequin. And I'm presuming you all still enjoy the Facebook Lives, so we'll continue with them as long as, combined with Abs doing his Instagram Lives. So we'll be doing them both. So I'm just cutting the word mannequin. It actually works with the frayed burlap ink as well. Not quite as much, Betty, but it does work with the frayed burlap ink as well. It does work with the frayed burlap ink. Good. I'm glad you still enjoyed the Facebook Lives. So just add that, just so that you can see. I don't want to add too much there, but I know exactly what I'm doing. Brilliant, Shelley. Can I put my order in now? I don't think he's even got them yet. So I'm just cutting my words, Brilliant. I'm glad you love the lives. We've got to keep each other going, keep each other happy, keep each other creating and inspired. We've got to keep each other happy. There we go. Just scissors. Just cutting out my words. What I like is, I just love the fact that with the journal pages, we've got something to look at. And as you all know, my aim for 2020, and it will continue in 2021, my aim for 2020 was to make sure that your stamps don't stay on the shelf gathering dust. My aim was that you would use them and that they don't just sit there gathering dust. Brilliant. James has got the washi tapes. Fantastic. So just add this here like so. Now, sometimes think about, sometimes less is more. Don't overpower everything. Sometimes less is more. So what I'm going to do is just add some black splatters. I'm going to add some black splatters to my page. Don't add too many. Again, less is more. But wherever you've added a little cluster, just make sure you add the same. Don't add too many. Again, less is more. You don't want to add too much. You don't want to add too much. And what I'm going to do now is frantically, you should see the state of my room. Exactly, it makes it easy to accomplish. Makes it easy to accomplish, but also I think it's important that it looks like you've put some thought into it, that it looks like it's got some kind of design element. It's not all just chucked on the page. It needs to look like there's some kind of design element. And what I'm going to do is just add a little bit of scribble just there and just here. Just a little bit of signature to the page, just on that page there. It doesn't have to mean anything. And I'm also going to add some touches of white. I'm also going to add some touches of white. Oh, thanks, James. Thank you. We're going to add some touches of white as well, because we need, I can't do it because my phone's in the way. My phone's in the way, so the way I want to flick, it won't let me. That's better. Now, this page is all about being reserved. It's about thinking about how you can still create an impact without adding too much detail, without going over the top and having bits of this and bits of that and bits of the other all over the place, but still looking like it's just that you've thought about the process. And I'm absolutely love the pages. You've still got your embellishments, you've still got your open space, and you've still got your design element. But the most important thing is that those stamps sing. Those stamps are doing the work, and I love it. And I'm not going to add anything else to that page because I think you can spoil it. But for me, I love this little touch. I love this little touch here. I absolutely love it. But all that you need to do now, just one last little bit, is to pick up some of your frayed burlap, pick up your scissors, and just add a few little flicks of the frayed burlap just around your page. Just a few flicks. Just add a few flicks of the frayed burlap, and then you're done. The touch of blue, it's just about right, so I like that. Now, if you're looking for any other inspiration, then I've got some Facebook Lives, I've got some pre-recorded workshops, so if you want to continue with the journal page theme, then you continue with that. And the idea is, at the end of the 12 months, we'll have something to show for our time at home, and we can all look back on that. I'll just show you the giveaway again, just in case those that missed it. So I've finished my page and I've got a little giveaway. So the giveaway is a little sketchbook, which is brand new. It's still in its cellophane, and we've got some oil paint pens. So that the idea is that maybe you can use some of your stamped imagery on pebbles. So that's why I've bought the oil paint pens, because they can be used on any surface. And hopefully that way you'll use your stamp sets on different surfaces. And I have to say, I can't turn the page because these are still drying, but I have to say, I'm so happy with it. I love it. It's not too over the top, it's not too cluttered, and it's still got a design element. So I hope you enjoyed that, and I will be doing lots more lives just to keep us going with lots more classes as well. And don't forget to join in with ABS next week. Kim, you've answered the question. It needs to flow into the next one. Exactly. That's why I like doing the 2-page spread where it flows. But what you have to remember is this page doesn't have to look exactly the same as that page. It can be a design element of that page. So thanks very much, everybody. I hope you have a lovely Sunday. And I will be coming back, hopefully next week, with another Facebook Live, and we'll keep each other going. So stay safe, and I will see you all soon. Every time I think I'll give some stamps a pat. Oh, bless you, Clintine. Thanks very much for staying with us, James. Thank you. Oh, thank you, Hilary. You're very welcome. So if you'd like to share the live, that'd be much appreciated. Thanks very much, everybody, and I'll see you all soon. Bye, everybody. Bye.